is.
Well, we can always close blinds or just assume that I'm Jesus.
Did you start recording already?
Oh yeah, no, it's recording.
Welcome to Nerd Citadel, episode 5. Got some stuff going on, so it's been a little while. I believe our last video was our Joker review. Hope you got a chance to see the review as well as the movie.
If you haven't seen the movie, then you've lost out.
So today we're going to catch up on some of the news that we've been... So
Well,
it's
you're
okay,
sitting
Nick. We're not going to talk about the movie today.
My girlfriend has seen the movie. Maybe she should be sitting in your spot.
You want to switch spots?
Nah.
So we're going to catch up on some of the news that we've been missing since then. A lot of news with reference to the Matt Reeves movie and the Matt Reeves upcoming Batman movie, as well as some of the stuff coming up on Crisis. Disney Plus has dropped, along with the Mandalorian as their launching series.
And holy hell is Disney Plus got a lot of stuff. My God. I was not expecting it when I got it.
Since Chris has not yet seen The Mandalorian today, we're going to spoil the hell out of it for him. My brother Nick is going to sit in, so I have somebody to talk to that knows what they're talking about.
Oh yeah, by the way, everyone, this is Nick. It's a good introduction. I am obviously in the wrong seat. You should be the co-pilot here.
So The Mandalorian takes place about 5 years after, what is it, Nick? Return of the Jedi?
5 years after episode 6,
After episode 6?
I believe.
So Return of the Jedi.
But it takes place after the fall of the Empire.
Yeah, definitely after the fall of the Empire.
Yeah, and what little we know about The Mandalorian is that, for one, he's a Mandalorian, and underneath the mask...
Spoilers!
And underneath the mask, he looks like Oberon from Game of Thrones, because he's played by
Is he played by the same actor?
Pedro Pascal.
Ah,
Yeah.
Sweet. Now I have to watch this show. I
Yes.
didn't know that, and he was one of my favorite guys on Game of Thrones.
And thanks to some flashbacks, we also know that he was orphaned during the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars.
So the way that the series opens up is with him in a bar fight, and even though this is Disney, they managed to work in some off-screen kills by the Mandalorian, such as having a guy cut in half by a closing... what do you call those doors in Star Wars?
Portal.
A door?
The portal,
But it's
yeah,
like,
the portal
it's circular.
doors.
It like closes in on
Oh,
Yeah, the ones that look like a reverse kaleidoscope.
Right. That's cool. We've all been there after having a few too many drinks. I'll tell you that much.
And then we have Nick Nolte introduced as kind of the stranger that wants to help out.
How did I not know Nick Nolte's in this too? I'm sorry, nerds. I'm letting you all down.
Yeah, he's a little puppet that just so happens to look like Nick Nolte. It really almost looks like they didn't use any makeup.
Co-starring Nick Nolte as Nick Nolte.
So the Mandalorian picks up this job where he actually needs to meet in person. They won't exchange the job via the normal holocoin. So he needs to meet in person to acquire the job, and basically to tell him the only information they'll give him about his target is that he's 50 years old.
And this is how we know that this would never happen in real life, because if anyone's used Craigslist and they're like, that is a windowless van and the last time you'll be seen. So, yeah, we're talking about the Mandalorian though, so the target's 50 years old.
Yeah, so along the way, the first episode was directed by, can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was the director of, I think, Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars series. This was the first live-action debut that he has. So the show comes across as kind of a live-action cartoon.
Gotcha.
which is okay because it kind of works. But so basically, he's on this quest to hunt down his bounty, and he runs into Taika Waititi as
Yes, you did tell me Taika Waititi was in this.
as oh god,
For those of you
What's
who
his-
don't know,
what's the name of the droid, Nick? That Taika's playing.
Oh, it was a bounty hunter droid. I forget the name of it, but yeah, it was also
IG
there.
11.
Oh.
Because IG
He
88
has
is from
a
the
number.
movies,
You
right?
could throw together any letters and numbers and be in the ballpark.
I'm gonna say IG 11 because I'm pretty sure that's correct.
and for those of you who don't know, which most of you do, but I'm sure there's someone out there, Taika Waititi is most currently known for directing Thor
I'm
Ragnarok
playing Korg.
and playing voice acting and motion capture for Korg.
I think so.
All right.
And also,
Hey, man.
hey Meek. And also, What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Jojo Rabbit, most
Right.
recently. He actually plays Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
I thought he looked familiar. I thought Hitler looked oddly familiar and charismatic.
And then, so he meets up with the droid. They decide to split the bounty. They ultimately find the target, and it's Baby Yoda.
So cute.
Well, didn't you tell me it's like heavily implied that is Yoda's offspring?
Either that or actually a clone of Yoda.
Oh, damn.
Because there are lots of references in the show back to the Clone Wars.
Gotcha. So it could be some kind of foreshadowing about the Clone Wars, maybe a clone Baby Yoda.
And we do know that the baby's unusually strong with the Force, which doesn't... You're not just born strong with the Force.
Right.
Usually it's passed on.
Ah. It's genetic?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah, if we're going through midichlorians and all that stuff, then, yeah, sure, your structure that determines how many midichlorians exist in your body could be genetic and passed on from parent to child.
Wait, but if Baby Yoda's 50 years old, that puts him before the Clone Wars.
You think Yoda never got it on?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying
Yoda
Come
was-
on, Yoda.
If Baby Yoda was a clone, that clone would have been made before the Clone Wars.
Or
But
during.
Or during. And also, I think according to the Clone Wars show, don't the clones age at an accelerated rate?
Yeah, but the baby's supposed to be 50 years old.
Right.
Not aged 50 years old. Just 50 years old.
Okay, it's been in existence for
Yeah.
50 years. Okay, well, never mind. F me. What do I know? Maybe I should watch more Disney.
Well, from what I saw of Baby Yoda's power, just being an infant, I can imagine him being more powerful than Yoda when he's fully grown.
Oh, dang. And by fully grown, you mean like 1 foot taller.
Yeah.
And magically turning
And
from something
maybe a couple
somewhat
hundred years
CG to just a hand puppet. I really got to get into this show. I keep hearing good things about it. And the most popular image I've seen online now is a picture of John Wick holding Baby Yoda, which is what I assume the dynamic of the show is. The Mandalorian's going to protect this baby like it's his little puppy dog.
Well, since we haven't actually seen the Mandalorian's face yet, you can always recast him as Keanu Reeves.
Oh, we could.
And have a big reveal at the end.
Yeah, right. And just have Pedro Pascal voice-overing over Keanu's moving lips.
No, they did James Earl Jones as Vader, and then when
Yeah, when they took off
took
the
off
mask.
helmet,
Yeah, they already did
voice.
the Mandalorian's voice is kind of like
Modulated.
modulated. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, whatevs. So that's The Mandalorian. I hope you like our review of The Mandalorian. I haven't watched it yet, but I will now that I have Disney Plus.
So, I think the next big news that we should touch on is what we know so far about Matt Reeves' Batman.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, Robert Pattinson
Oh, I know
is
that.
playing Batman now.
That's all I know.
Well, we have a lot of casting right now.
Yes, so you're going to have to fill us in. I know you gave me a few names, but you have
All right.
more details than I
So,
do.
of course, we got Robert Pattinson as Batman. We got Andy Serkis as
Alfred.
Alfred.
Really?
Yeah, Andy Serkis is going to be Alfred. That is so
I like
cool.
that.
Okay, yeah, we should talk about that for a moment. One, because Andy Serkis is a fantastic actor.
But is Andy Serkis playing Alfred, or he's going to do motion capture for Michael Caine?
Yeah, old motion capture for Michael Caine. No, I think it's cool because what a lot of the movies and even like the animated series for the most part, the animated series did a little bit of this better. Well, Batman the animated series did everything better. But one thing that people miss out on in these movies and shows is Alfred's previous military experience, and that he's actually kind of a badass.
And Michael Caine kind of portrayed that well.
He did,
at least in his stories.
Yeah, in his stories, and like I think it was Batman Begins. He ends up knocking out one of the League of Shadows members with just a giant piece of wood.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're gonna have someone that's a little bit younger, and Andy Serkis is really well built too, who can actually have the look of like a military man. And plus, who knows? Maybe they'll work in the idea, the one kind of famous panel online of Alfred loading a shotgun, pretty much being like, now I know my master has an aversion to guns. Let me assure you, I don't have the same feelings, or something like that.
Or they just do that scene from. You ever read All-Star Batman or see any panels from it?
Is that the one where Alfred beats the hell out of Superman?
I don't remember that, but there was a series of panels that showed Alfred training in the Batcave with punching bag, and he's just ripped.
Yeah,
he has his knuckles wrapped.
Yes, I have seen that. I think there was. I'm pretty sure it was Superman, or just another super powered individual. Might have been. No, it wouldn't have been Bane. It wasn't someone that big. But Alfred had on some. It looked like power gloves almost, like something that would have come off of Batman's bat armor that he would fight Superman in. And he's beating the hell out of someone, and just all the lines of text are pretty much like threatening. He's like, "I'm holding back right now, and if you lay another finger on Master Wayne, I will end you." Like, Alfred's a badass. And we don't get enough of that. We get snarky Alfred, which is fun.
I'm pretty sure Andy Serkis is by far going to be the youngest actor to portray him.
Yeah, they usually...
While still being old enough older than Robert Pattinson at least, to still have a parental feel.
Right,
be a parental figure in his life.
And Andy Serkis is capable of looking old. You know, because you also got to think, like, he himself isn't very old, but he has very distinct, mature features. You think back to a movie.
But he is almost twice Robert Pattinson's age.
Yes.
I mean, he's old enough.
Yeah, he's old enough. I'm just saying he himself, he's not an old man.
Yeah, I think he's like in his 50s.
Yeah, he's mid to late 50s at the oldest. But, like, just off the top of my head, last time I saw him live action was Black Panther. And even then, like, thinking back to it, I'm like, they went out of their way to make him look a little younger. Just kind of the way he styled himself and acted. Because he has older features. Mm-hmm. So they could they could very easily, with minimal makeup, go for old man Alfred if they wanted to.
If you want to see him truly without any makeup and any CGI, you have to look at him in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Where it shows true age of about 900 years old.
Yeah, he's a 900-year-old, multi-dimensional being that has an affinity for jewelry.
So, some of the other casting, we got Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yes.
And we have Paul Dano as the Riddler. Falcone.
Oh,
They cast him. They cast the guy that plays the disgruntled agent in Transformers.
yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yes, I can't remember the actor's name.
I forget his name too. He's good though. I
The one
like
that
him.
he was like on the pyramid underneath the giant Transformers wrecking balls.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that dude. He's actually a good actor. If that's all you know him from, you won't be impressed. He's actually good.
Well, he might have been in other things I've seen, but those
That's-
actors that like do themselves well up enough.
He's
that
a
you
character
don't
actor. He
recognize
always
him.
plays,
Yeah.
and he usually plays somebody either in the mob or in the FBI or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
you
He's
get actors
content
that are
based.
just good at that.
But and then you have Commissioner Gordon is.
Oh yeah, who was playing him again?
It's the same actor that's doing the Watcher for the What If series on Disney Plus.
Oh, I don't know. But come on, Commissioner Gordon is not. I don't see Commissioner Gordon as like the hardest character to portray. You just got to not overdo it. We've had a few Commissioner Gordons. All of them played very differently, but they all serve their purpose. It's just you're a police commissioner. You work in the most crime-ridden town in this fictional universe, and you've been doing it way too friggin' long. Have at it.
And then also in DC news, we have the Crisis quickly coming up.
Yes.
And we do have confirmation of the character that Kevin Conroy... Well, we know he's playing Batman, but we have confirmation of which Batman he will be playing, which appears to be the Kingdom Come Batman.
Okay. Yeah, and I haven't really read too much into that. I know you let me borrow Kingdom Come, but I haven't read a whole lot into it.
So since we're getting two characters from Kingdom Come, and because we know one of the episodes is actually going to be Batwoman and Supergirl looking for Bruce Wayne, the episode I believe is called "Will the Real Clark Kent Please Stand Up?" Because it's going to have three different actors portraying Clark Kent. But I'm led to believe they're actually going to be on the Kingdom Come Earth.
Gotcha. And so you said three actors are playing Bruce Wayne. We know Kevin
No,
Conroy.
three actors are playing Clark Kent.
Why was I thinking Bruce Wayne?
We got Tom Welling
guy.
as the Smallville Superman. Got Tyler Hoechlin as the Supergirl Superman, the current CW universe Superman.
Yes, I've heard a lot of good things about him because I haven't watched that show.
Nick's not a fan, although he does like Tyler Hoechlin. He just doesn't like him.
I love Tyler Hoechlin. I can't see him as Superman.
Gotcha.
Well, now you can because you can just tune in on.
Well, I mean,
you can tune in on the
Sundays
CW.
I can see it. I just can't accept
Monday
it.
nights.
Yeah. You can tune in. If you don't know what Tyler Hoechlin is going to be like as Superman, well, you can watch every Monday night on the CW. Wow, CW. They got drama. They got superheroes. They got all the fun stuff to make your Monday night really good.
We'll take our check now, CW.
And then on, so Kevin Conroy. Oh no, I was listening to Superman, right? So Tom Welling, Tyler Hoechlin, and of course Brendan Routh reprising his role as Superman.
And it's a shame. It's a shame how bad Superman Returns was because Brandon Routh really wasn't a bad Superman. And he really did fit the likeness of Christopher Reeves.
And you have to wonder, since Henry Cavill was the runner-up to play Superman in Superman Returns, had he got it over Brandon Routh, would Brandon Routh have ended up playing Superman in
Man of Steel?
In Man of Steel?
Oof. I'm actually glad that didn't happen. Because the Brandon Routh as Superman Returns and the kind of structure of that movie, how they were trying to recapture the Christopher Reeves whimsy and fun of it.
He kind of fits that character role.
He fits that character role. He's a very bright and colorful character, whereas Man of Steel was going for a grittier, more downtrodden Superman. Someone that's kind of not been oppressed, but has had to suppress himself his whole life, and then over time having to figure out who he is.
Speaking of Henry Cavill, his Witcher series, even before the first season has aired, It's already renewed for a second season.
Oh
so
man,
I have high hopes for that.
yeah, I hope it's good. He's a good actor, not necessarily the best person, and not even that I think he's terrible. I just think he has some very old world views on certain things. But let's
not get into Henry Cavill's political views.
Yes, we are not here to talk politics. We are here to talk superheroes and the joy they bring us.
And have you seen the reports recently, or the interviews with Henry Cavill, where he very adamantly wants to continue playing Superman? He said he's not giving up yet.
Well, good. I hope he can make amends for any wrongdoing that he has done, or that people believe that he's done.
Well,
and
not getting too much
continue.
into it, but he just made controversial comments. It's not like he actually did something.
Yeah, no, he didn't do it. That's why that's one of the reasons why I'm so supportive of the idea of him continuing. That, and despite what some people might think of Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League, he really is the best Superman we've had yet. And he fits the modern day. He looks like Superman. Yeah, they've taken some liberties because, comic Superman has a certain different kind of structure, but you look at Henry Cavill in the Superman outfit, and it's not like, oh, that's some dude playing Superman. You look at him and you go, oh, that's Superman. That's what Superman looks like.
Yeah, he has a very, he has a big presence.
He has a big
He
presence.
might actually be the underlying reason why I can't be on board with Tyler Hoechlin as Superman.
Oh,
Because
just
he just
saw
fits it so much that I can't see anybody else as Superman.
Yeah, because you've already seen this guy's bigger than life fill the role, and Tyler Hoechlin kind of goes back to that more humble looking Superman.
Right. I think the only weak aspect of Henry Cavill's Superman is that he's just not charismatic enough, because Superman's supposed to be symbol of hope guy. And the movie makes all the people view him as
his shoulders. That gives me hope.
Oh, trust me. I've seen that man's workout routine. That gives me hope. But it's yes, in those movies, people view Superman overall as a symbol of hope. But in Superman's actions and how he behaves during those films, he doesn't inspire hope in me, the viewer, as much as I'm like, that's an angry Superman. And he does heroic things, but he's not very charismatic. You'd think back to the opening to Justice League, which I get why they probably kept him at a distance in the kid's iPhone or kid's camera view, because they had to CG out the weird mustache, and it looked very distracting. But you'd think like comic Superman would probably be a pretty chill dude, would probably hang out with the kids, maybe take a knee, talk to them a little bit, smile a little more. This one, he's kind of still standing at a distance, still chest out.
Yeah, we really haven't been able to see that side of him yet.
Yeah, but they were clearly building to that. Justice League.
Yes, they were. It was a little abrupt. I feel like it was abrupt because the directors and the writers took the criticism of Batman v Superman, and I think they made too much of a heel turn. Because we went from Bruce Wayne being kind of cocky and dark to he's making lots of jokes in Justice League that make me feel like he's a totally different person. Which, who knows, there's probably some kind of catharsis or something in him realizing his own wrongdoing that pulled a weight off his shoulders. But there's a difference between, do you bleed? You will. And then in the very next movie, oh, yep, something's bleeding. But yeah, towards the end, when Superman makes his big comeback, Steppenwolf is, beating everyone's ass. And Superman comes in, he's like, I'm a fan of justice. And I'm like, it's so close to classic fun Superman and the way he banters with the Flash, He's like, Flash, go save that person. I'm going to save these person. And he flies up next to Flash, slowpoke.
Well, it goes back to the whole issue that Man of Steel 2 should have been the second movie
Yes.
in the DCEU because they should have fully developed
They should have.
Superman and not kill him before starting the Justice League. And then 3 Justice League movies later, then you have the fight with Doomsday and kill Superman.
Yes, because the
10-year plan, Marvel style.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why Marvel did it better. At least in Phase 1. We're going to see where DC goes. But, yeah, they didn't give us enough time with Superman to really care about him.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, we liked the actor. We liked overall what the movies wanted to do. Like, I really like what Batman v Superman was trying to do. What we got was a little disjointed, a little bit of a mess. A collection of really good scenes that didn't fit together very well. I also feel like it should have been 2 or 3 different movies. Because it felt like 3 movies trying to compete for the spotlight.
I'm even okay with Batman v Superman being the second movie because the world's still skeptical of Superman.
And they've had Batman around for a while.
Yeah.
And we get to see that new side of things.
But here's my quick pitch for fixing Batman v Superman. First of all, drop the Dawn of Justice subtitle.
Yes.
Take out all the inserted trailers for all the other superheroes that were throughout the movie. Remove Wonder Woman.
As much as we love you, Gal Gadot.
She was great in it.
You're great. You are our Wonder Woman.
It just didn't need to be in that movie.
Yes. We should have teased that later. Maybe have her show up in a post-credit scene or something. Yeah.
I'll even allow Jesse
Eisenberg's Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Just instead of ending the movie with the big boss fight with Doomsday,
let it be Lex Luthor.
Do Lex Luthor in his power suit.
Yeah, something like that. Like he's already xenophobic enough. We've seen enough how
he recreates Kryptonian technology.
And decides to make some kind of machine or armor out of it.
Yeah.
Or something that he could use to weaken Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And just do something like that. The Doomsday
he should have made his armor out of the Kryptonian ship.
Yeah, something like that. It's established that he's a genius. But I think the whole whodunit, like he was pulling the strings all along, that was a little too much because yes, they don't explain how he knew all the things he does. They just say that he knew them. Like, oh, I know who Batman is. How? Because I'm smart. Well, thanks. Movie.
I thought they did explain some of that.
They explained a little bit of it, but not enough to sell it.
But I also can't remember what was part of the extended version and the original, because I knew the extended version showed him gathering different information and how he got there. And
yeah, the extended had a little more to do with it. And I do actually like the extended version, if only just for like the added scenes of Batman beating the ever-living hell out of people. But yeah.
So, yeah, and then what you could do then is you end Batman v Superman with Batman, pulling aside Superman saying, look, I've tried correcting the world the way that you seem to be doing now. I tried ruling through fear and brute force, but you need to be a symbol of hope.
Yeah, because throughout the course of this movie, and Man of Steel for a little bit, we see a Superman that wants to do good, but is constantly compelled to cause harm.
So you have Batman be the guy to give that insight.
Right.
And say, hey, I've been on the wrong side of the coin.
Right, and I guess, like, maybe they wanted to make Batman the villain in this movie, because, I mean, let's face it, he was the villain. Batman was practically evil in this movie. He was killing people, he was branding them so that they would be killed in prison. Like, he was a bad dude for most of this movie. Maybe they wanted to try and flip the coin, because in a lot of the comics, animated series, and previous movies, even when he reaches his darkest, he's still able to pull himself out of that void.
Mhm.
And he's always kind of been that. He sees someone doing wrong, he tries first to be like, I know what it's like to be on the dark side, and yada yada yada. But if you do this, you never come back.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Zack Snyder had him killing people. That's the thing he said he could never come back from. So, yes, he should have been. They should have made him the antagonistic force of the movie, but not so mean. Like, Batman's supposed to be brooding and badass. He's not mean, though. And this movie, Batman v Superman, he was a really mean, angry person.
Nick, your face is out of the screen.
Well, Nick, you should be part of this show. Come on in, Nick.
Oh, this is much more relaxing.
Yes, it is. But, yeah, so we're talking about a movie that came out, 6 years ago? So,
Yes, but it was all
sorry, I could
because we were
my
talking
X
about
out too.
because we were talking about the different portrayals of Superman.
Yes.
Because of having the three different Supermen appearing in the Crisis.
Exactly. Which, yeah, I mean, I still think it's something good to touch on because we don't really talk a lot about different portrayals. And going back to Batman, it is, like, I'm really actually happy that we're going to get Robert Pattinson because he's actually a good actor. And the direction that they're going, that they actually want to do World's Greatest Detective Batman, is something that we've never had on the screen. We've had Batman, do some investigating here and there, but overall, he's a crime fighter. Now we're actually going to get to see that he is supposed to be one of the most intelligent people on Earth, too.
Mm.
And it would have been cool to see Ben Affleck do that, but what we're going to get with Robert Pattinson could open up the door for many, many more movies as he ages.
Even with Christian Bale, we didn't get any of that because he just had Lucius Fox create everything.
Yeah, Lucius, he's like, oh, I need to be able to gather intelligence. Well then, Batman, I'll be able to do that for you. I need to be able to tap into all the cell phones in Gotham. My God, Batman, this is symbolic of the Patriot Act, and I can't be for this.
Why is your Lucius Fox like an old school radio announcer?
I don't know.
Definitely not Morgan Freeman there.
Wow, Batman. I can't do a Morgan Freeman, but
Just think National Geographic.
This time you've gone too far, Batman. Well, I'm gonna get busy sassing you for this one, Batman.
Still not there.
Yeah, I can't do it. One of these days. Maybe I need to look more like him. Do you have any? For those of you who missed it, I made a bad joke that I would never actually commit to.
So, anything else up and coming we should touch on? They fixed Sonic.
They fixed Sonic, yeah.
They fixed Sonic. Now,
and he looks awesome.
Yes, it looks a lot better. I think the movie looks like it's going to be pretty bad, but
I think people should support it because they were willing to go that extra mile.
Right. I do, I will end up seeing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I don't care what people say about Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik.
I love him as Dr. Robotnik.
I think he looks like he's going to be what makes this movie good.
I hope he goes method by the end of the movie and puts on like 80 pounds.
Oh God, I hope so. I know the one trailer just has like the quick snippet of him with the frayed mustache and the red jacket.
Yeah, I'm
like, you know what? I want to see
and shaved head.
Yeah.
Wait. So for that, I think by the end of this movie, he's going to be sent to an alien planet, right? Or maybe to Sonic's world.
Mm-hmm.
And then undergoes like a metamorphosis and becomes classic fat Dr. Robotnik.
Maybe. Who knows? But there's this thing I've been thinking about, and I think I talked to you about this last time I was over at your place. where it's like, yes, we should absolutely support the people who animated this movie for listening to the criticism of fans. And I hope the animators were properly compensated for any extra work that they had to do in order to redesign. Because what ends up happening for animators, they're usually paid a flat rate. It's not like an hourly or, time-based job. They're paid a flat rate to do this. So when a lot of rework is required, even if it's just dropping models on, you still have to think about render times and things like that.
Well,
a lot of them aren't compensated for that. But I have a theory. You shut your mouth. I'm talking now.
Hey.
No, I'm kidding. You're our guest.
Yeah, I'm the guest. You treat your guest.
Yeah. You're related to him. I'll treat you like I treat him. So someone's going to have a good night. But I have this theory where the redesign, the fixed Sonic, was what they were going to go with all along. And they gave us the monstrosity that we saw to get more people talking about the movie.
Well, I told you my theory that regardless of whether or not that's true, I can almost guarantee you they already had that rendering done
ready
as one of their concepts.
Probably.
So there's no way that you ever don't have the original character design as the concept.
Right. I think it's really funny how, like, the entire internet, like, cyberbullied an animation studio for doing their job. The monstrosity that we started with, that horrible thing, that's what the animation studio was hired to do. You don't get mad at the animators for doing what the director told them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire internet cyberbullied an animation studio, possibly cyberbullied an entire production to change one thing. That's the power of the internet, folks. Take up arms. And by arms, I mean take your arms and type angry things at people.
So we're going to have Nick Fury coming at the end. Welcome to the Smash Brothers Initiative.
It won't be Nick Fury. It's going to be Captain N. Oh, Captain N. It was an old animated show. It was a kid who had...
No, it should be Mr. Game & Watch.
Mr. Game & Watch. Or, oh God, what's his name? Lil Mac. Lil Mac from Punch-Out! So you're Sonic the Hedgehog. Whoa, yeah, I'm Sonic. Who are you? Whoa, gotta go fast. I'm Lil Mac. I'll talk to you about the Smash Brothers Initiative. I'm zoning out. Sorry, guys. Continue.
For the Sonic, they actually still had a lot of work to do on the movie. Like the special effects and CG and stuff that you saw in the trailers.
Right.
Pretty much the bulk of what they had done.
Gotcha.
So they still had a lot of things to do. It only cost them an extra like $5 million more to redo that animation.
Damn.
Well, I bet you they didn't even when they unveiled the new design, I bet you they hadn't redone the scenes from the original trailer yet with that design because it was all new scenes.
Oh yeah,
the trailer has no overlapping scenes.
Oh yeah, almost all of them. Yeah.
So they probably just did all the scenes that hadn't been shot yet anyway. Or not shot, but hadn't added the animation to yet.
Right. Movies. I still really do think that movie's not going to be good, but I'm going to see it.
I'm committed because the studio was committed.
Right. But it's like, you take, like, the culmination of everything Sonic, since Sonic crossed into the 3D world. With the exception of, like, maybe, like, Sonic Forces, which was actually a really good game made with a lot of love for the fans. You see, like, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic and the Secret Ring, Sonic Boom, Sonic Adventure DX, and just the glitchiness of those games. And then this weird movie coming out. Do you ever think if Sonic was real, and he would just sit down and go, why me?
But you're forgetting one of the best Sonic games ever made. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
I kind of remember that one.
That's
That one was kind of fun.
The introduction of Shadow.
Then Shadow got his solo spin-off game. Where he rides on a motorcycle and shoots.
Yeah, where he's just the Punisher.
Yeah, we're
Punisher the Hedgehog.
It's Punisher the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I don't know where I came from. I don't know where I'm going. But I have total ambivalence towards good and evil. Oh boy. Ah well, we still got a little bit of time. Yeah, if for whatever reason this video just abruptly ends, that means my computer ran out of storage. But it's okay because I have an external flash drive and we can always pick it up another time.
But yeah, so I think we're all caught up on news. So why don't we call the video for today?
Right on.
Next, you don't have HBO. I was going to tell you catch up on Watchmen, so we can talk about that.
I'll see how
Do you know
much.
somebody that has HBO?
I'll talk to my parents.
All right, figure
Either
it
my
out.
parents or Bob. Because I know Bob has it and he loves Watchmen. Yeah, apparently, the only thing I know is apparently people are having an issue saying that Watchmen is social justice warrior liberal crap. Which it's probably
it's
not. But if anyone remembers the actual comic and the dude who wrote The Watchmen, shit was always meant to be super like progressive minded political. And all the conservative minds and stuff and the anarchy minds were kind of portrayed as not so good people. Like Rorschach, the reason he died. Okay, spoiler from a comic that's however old. Rorschach dies. And it's him dying is supposed to be symbolic of the idea that he held on to a super conservative view and would not change with the times. Hence why he would not back down to Dr. Manhattan.
Rorschach, to me, was like the most sane person in that comic.
I mean,
he did some crazy things.
He did some crazy things,
but
and
his views,
he had a view that was like see past the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, his favorite like news outlet was basically Bill O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
In that universe, he said, at least in the comics, not so much in the movie, which was a great adaptation. I think it's done a little too well that it made it hard for some people to follow. Like he held some very hyper conservative viewpoints that today could probably be seen as some kind of phobic.
But what's interesting in the TV show is that it's they're like a group of white supremacists
that are following his word. But
yeah,
the thing
just shows how you can twist something.
Oh yeah, because I read this whole article. It's like, read a lot of what Rorschach does and says in the comic and take all context out of it. That could easily, you can make that apply to like white supremacy and things like that.
Well, that's what they do. Like their manifesto is his journals, basically.
Yes, and his journals are the ramblings of very conservative viewpoints, twisted to be like, oh, well, clearly what Rorschach meant is white people are the best. So, but that's also part of what makes this show so good, is the idea of what is the future after these influential figures are gone.
Mm-hmm.
How does time treat their legacy? But I'm zoning out again. I'll let you guys wrap this up while I sink into the abyss. Goodbye, nerds.
So next time, let's plan to do your review of Kung Fu Kong.
Yes. And Red Sun? You want me to do
Oh,
both?
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, Red Sun.
Yes.
Red Sun first.
Yes, I will do Red Sun first.
And then we will hopefully have some more